Where are you from, Raya?
I'm from LA. I'm one of the only people, it appears, actually.
Seem to be in the minority these
in LA.
days.
Yeah, most people I know came from somewhere else. But all my family is on the East Coast, and New York and Chicago are where my family is. But I'm the one Los Angelino.
Wow. I understand that your early exposure to music was kind of due to your father, and he was Martin Yarbrough.
Martin.
Can you talk a little bit about that and how he introduced you to the music scene?
Basically, my dad has always been a singer-songwriter. You know, he put out some albums in the 60s of his own stuff and covers of stuff, and he's just, I mean, I think he's just the greatest thing in the world. But then again, he's my dad. So and he's a singer, guitar player, percussionist. And I'd always heard him singing and playing guitar in the house, like always. It was always going on. Then when I came into being, he sort of became a full-time dad and sort of stepped back from his own music career for a little while. Then my parents got divorced, and then here's where the necessity comes in. My dad went back to work. He went back to singing in clubs many nights a week, including the weekends, which is when I would go and visit him. And so starting from when I was about 7 years old, I was going to nightclubs every weekend. And so that's kind of how I started singing professionally.
Did you study music in school?
I studied music a little bit towards the end of high school because they offered some music theory classes, so I did that. So when it got time to make the college choice, it was I'd been doing theater and I'd been writing and singing music, and so it was like, two loves I have, what do I do? And so I was thinking, all right, it's going to be NYU for like theater, or it's going to be USC for music. And I went with music because I thought it's like I love them both, but I've got stronger ties there, you know, and I was like, what can't I live without, you know? I don't want to live without acting, but I can't live without music. I just had to think about it that way. So I went to USC and got that old music degree.
Do you find your dad's influence kind of traipsing into what you're doing now?
My dad's influence is definitely all over my music, which is good because I like what he does. Yeah. And he has a really unique way of playing, which is something that I can't. Oh, thank you. Which is something that I can't replicate exactly. I mean, that's his thing, but I guess I find that some of his harmonic sensibilities become my harmonic sensibilities.
Is there much disparity? I mean, do you find between like trying to achieve a really current sound and the older sound?
Yeah, that's like the scourge of my life. Like trying to, because I was starting like. I guess starting from when I was little, from when I was like 7, I was just singing jazz. And it wasn't until like junior high that I started getting into like classic rock, I was a huge Beatles nut. I'm still a huge Beatles nut, which is kind of taboo to say in the jazz world, I found out. Not quite sure why, but I guess because the Beatles are sort of, I don't know, I guess icons of rock and roll revolution in some way, like a lot of people are, but you know, and that rock and roll, you know, totally traipsed jazz and everything else. But you know, I wasn't there for that, so you know, here I am, and like in high school, like I like it both. I like everything. So early midway through high school, I started getting into like classic rock and Frank Zappa and Joni Mitchell. And all the while, I was still listening to Duke Ellington and still listening to like swing. The swing dancing thing came back, and so swing music, you could find that more easily. And so when I got my band together, it was pulling me in two different directions. That's kind of been a theme with my life too, being always pulled in two ways. You know, was it going to be drama or was it going to be music? And then once it was music, is it going to be jazz or is it going to be pop? You know, and I tried going full tilt jazz, but that didn't really suit me because there was more I wanted to say. I tried going full tilt pop, but I was missing that root essence that I grew up with and I love, and so it has been my balancing act, and it continues to be my balancing act to find me in between these two things.
I heard something about Battlestar Galactica, so you've been working on that too, apparently. So what have you been doing on that?
I first met Bear McCreary, the composer for Battlestar Galactica at USC when we were there. We were there at the same time. And like me and Bear decided not to wait to start our careers till after college. So I was running around, having rehearsals and recording albums, like, in people's closets off campus and stuff like that. And Bear was getting little orchestras together to score student films. And so, I was aware of him and he was aware of me. And eventually, I think after coming to see some of my shows or something like that, either that or his friends were going. But anyway, I forget how it worked out socially. Either way, he hired me. He just started hiring me to work on his films that he was doing. And after college, he continued to hire me. And then when he got to Battlestar, he found other places where he thought that my voice could work in. And it's...
So you do vocals for that, or?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, there's some songs. I sing in strange languages. And so it's just really cool to be involved with a really... a really neat sci-fi show.
That sounds fun.
Gets my nerdiness all happy.
How do you see your career filling out in the future?
Hopefully not around the thighs, because I have
Can sympathize.
I have some pantsuits I would like to keep, so I hope it doesn't fill out. Let's not say filling out. Let's say rising.
What path will your career take in the future?
Let's see. I mean, I want to sing music all over the world. That's my basic thing. Like, LA is fantabulous. It's a great place, but I want to sing in different countries. I just want to sing in every place I possibly can. Yeah. But if you go somewhere else, then you've got the somewhere else points going for you, and also I don't know. It's just people are looser elsewhere sometimes. And going to the UK was really, really cool.
When did you do that?
I did that in October. That was really, really cool. Actually, there's a cultural disconnect sometimes that you have to deal with. Like, music-wise, I think everything's cool. Music-wise, everything translates. But you got to work on your stage banter because it's really different. I try to, what did I say? I made some joke about, I got to that song, I think Listen Emily, and I told the story. And I was like, yeah, so this song and this next song I'm going to play after that, Vice and Vanity, these are based on true things. These are based on true things. And then I made a joke and I said, yeah, all the rest are lies. All the rest were lies, everything else I said. And I got a few chuckles, so I figured people understood that was a joke. But then, a week later, I read a review of the show, and they said nice things, but they didn't quote my joke, they reported it.
Oh.
So it said, yes, Raya Yarbrough says these two songs were true, and all the rest were lies.
Oh, no!
It's like, all right.
It doesn't quite translate in the accent.
Yes.
Thanks so much for being on interviewworld.com.
Yeah, thank you.
Good luck.